Yes.
Hey, hello everybody. We're back with another episode of The Playback is watching Fear the Walking Dead, Season 2, Episode 14, almost to the finale.
We're almost there.
Almost there. You're nodding your head yes. What do you think about this episode?
This one was better, right?
Yes, it was.
Right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
I'm still so frustrated, unfortunately, but
Right.
this one was better. Why? Because Travis got to be a badass.
Yeah, and do what we all wanted him to do,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
which is kill those idiots.
Mm-hmm. And, I really just like that whole storyline.
Mm-hmm.
I was frustrated how for a second Madison and Strand was trying to tell Madison, like, don't tell your husband what happened to his son.
Yeah.
Because then he won't have hope.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck off, Strand. That's the dumbest thing.
Also, just plot-wise, like writing-wise, that's not really a dilemma.
Right.
Like, it's not a problem.
I
it's
just-
like they wrote, they it's like in the script structure, they were like,
Yeah.
there needs to be a problem here, so
Yes.
they wrote one in.
That makes sense. That
but
makes
that's
sense.
like not a
I
problem.
think I kind of reject that. I think that that's cynical. I
Yeah.
think that it's very sad when we lose people in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm lucky that I haven't really dealt with too much loss, fortunately, and some people have and some people haven't. But I think that if it's a zombie apocalypse,
Right.
and you're dealing with stuff like that, I think that the thing that I would like to see come through in this show, and it's kind of there sometimes here and there on The Walking Dead, is that idea from like Castaway, where after Tom Hanks lands on the island and he even tries to kill himself, and he explains later he couldn't because the thing snapped and he wouldn't even have control over that he realized you just have to survive because you don't know what tomorrow will bring. You just have to survive. You just have to survive. And then he found that porta potty from Bakersfield, and he's like, I can leave. Like, but the idea behind that movie is like, it's you have to survive.
Yeah, you just do it.
You just do it day to day, and
Right.
that's what it means to be a human.
Yeah.
And I would like that to be in the show, but then like still have Travis deal with the loss of his, like that's
Yeah.
still interesting and dramatic.
Conflict.
That's good conflict. It's like
Internal conflict.
or in this case external, because he killed those mothers.
He stomped their head.
It was awesome. We both were like in our notes like, yep, 100% agree with what.
Yeah.
It's always fun because we don't watch the show together,
Yeah.
but then we get each other's notes, and I think it's really funny that the things that line up are like, yeah, that for sure lined up.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's backtrack. Let's start at the top of the episode.
Okay, so Ophelia fought off like 15 walkers.
Yeah, to get to the border. So she's
To get to
there,
the border.
and then she maybe got captured.
And she maybe got captured, but okay, I'm not saying that Ophelia is incapable of fighting off like what
Right.
realistically is like 8.
Right, like not an overwhelming. Sure.
I'm not saying she's incapable. I'm saying it makes walkers far less scary to see her struggle so little to kill 8 at once. Like she was just like
they're so mushy now.
Which
They're
is
so
like,
mushy. It's like you need
yeah.
something kind of sharp. Like I could get you with this book and just all I have to do is
and
like touch
push
your
it,
head and like
yeah.
oh you're dead. Like they're just so soft and squishy.
They're just not scary anymore. I'm not saying she couldn't do it, but
Right.
show us a little effort.
Right.
Like she was just like.
And even when she's in the back of the truck getting her stuff to leave, and the zombies are in the background,
she just
like
walks away. She doesn't even run.
Right. Show camera urgency.
Yeah.
Show they should
She
still
just
be
is taking a stroll.
really scary. It was a bummer. I liked how Travis was sleeping like a baby after ditching his stupid ass son, and he woke up and he's like, "What happened?"
And he was like, "Oh, it's so nice not to have kids
Yeah.
anymore."
Apparently that's the
so
message of
nice.
the show. The message of the show. I really like the guy that plays the character Marco. He's like the head of the Bandidos, that Mexican actor guy. I like his Spanish. I like his accent. I like his acting. I think it's really good.
Yeah.
When he's saying things that are kind of evil, kind of not, when he's explaining to Nick.
Yeah, I
where he's
believe
like,
him.
Yeah, where he's just like, we know where your place is at.
Yeah.
You guys can leave. We're just gonna go take it. Like,
I know.
it's not like a mustache twirly evil speech, but it's kind of like.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's like,
damn,
we're
like-
gonna take it.
Like, yeah, I bought him in it.
Yeah.
When Strand says, again, talking to Madison, where he's like, you can't tell Travis about the fact that these white boys know what happened to his son. And he uses that line again, the old rules don't apply. I'm like, not this early still, it feels like.
Yeah. I don't
know?
think they did that in season 2. I think in
Yeah.
season 2 of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I think they were still trying to like Shane was the only one
who was like, no, he was seeing the future. He's like, no, this is done. And everyone's like, shut up, Shane. We're in a farm. Everything's fine.
And he was the only one, and he died for it. So it was like, so now in this world, like everyone is like very quick to.
I know.
Yeah.
And I forget if it's in this episode or in episode 15, but like the fact that somebody sees a helicopter.
Yeah,
and,
it's in 15, I think.
It's in 15,
yeah.
but that's still.
Or maybe it's this one, I don't know.
That's still the idea of like, okay, we're not all the way there to Walking Dead yet. There's still helicopters. There's
right.
still
Which was very cool.
very cool. Like I want to see that play out. So the zombie in the infirmary was cool when he bit that nose guy, but then you said it was dumb.
I said biting someone's nose off is cool. I haven't seen that before.
She bit that lady's fingers.
She bit the lady's fingers, which is cool. But for some reason, when he stuck his thumbs through, I was like, that's not cool. Like, nose is cool, finger is cool, eyes are not cool. Yeah. Just because it takes so much effort, and he's literally in an infirmary where, like, there are scalpels, and there are tools, and there are scissors, like, anywhere around.
Yeah, grab something.
Yeah, you could have easily just been like...
Yes.
Seemed very unnecessary.
I agree, yeah. I also didn't buy the dilemma of, well, if they wanted to try to have it, I don't think that they explored it enough, the idea that Nick was telling everybody, we gotta leave. And people are like, this is our home. I'm like...
Oh my god! I know. That made no sense. Okay, if somebody... Okay, here's what would happen. Yeah. Here's what would literally happen. If he would run screaming back into the town and be like, we're gonna fucking die! They're coming to kill us
and
right
come
now!
Out like, get your shit, we're leaving in 30 seconds. You know,
yeah,
like, that's
and he would
what
be like, everybody get your shit right the fuck now.
He wouldn't roll up and be like, hey, just a couple of you, we gotta talk real quick.
Yeah, like he would, there was no way, no way. They were so calm about it. If like a bunch of guys with machine guns were like, every time they showed Nick being like, let's have a conversation. I was like screaming at my TV like, what the fuck? Like, write this better with a sense of urgency.
If somebody knocked on my door in my apartment and was like, even though all my stuff is in there, all of my work, all of my life, and they're like, somebody's coming here later today with a machine gun, I'd be like, they can have it. Bye. Yeah. I'm leaving.
Later today?
Later today, yeah.
They waited so long.
Yeah. We finally learned that the doctor is, of course, not immune, but he somehow was able to stave off the infection, which doesn't make sense.
No, he got bit by a regular-ass person.
Oh, and now
like, in that big tussle, he got bit by a regular-ass person.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
But even that, like...
Yeah.
God, the one of the very few genuinely original and interesting concepts in Fear the Walking Dead that didn't happen in The Walking Dead was that somebody might be immune, which is possible in nature. Like, it's not out of the question.
Would it have broken the world? Do you think that's why they didn't, like, commit to that idea?
I don't know.
It's like...
But they should have just fucking kept it.
I know.
Because it's like, Jesus Christ. Like, this is the one thing that set the show apart from the other one.
It would have been something that would have caused people to be like, I should tune into that show. Oh, really? That's what they're doing over there on that show?
And then they were just like, just kidding. It's not real. And it's like, come on. And it's like... Again, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Right.
Every time human beings reproduce or anytime anything organic reproduces, it mutates. There is a mutation that happens. So immunities happen all the time. There's a guy that's literally immune to HIV and AIDS. He's like,
what?
He got a transfusion by mistake back when they still did that shit.
Yeah.
And his wife got sick, and he didn't. And they were like, "Oh my god! Like, we transfused both of you. We're so sorry. Like, you obviously."
And he's like, "I'm immune."
And he was, and they like tested him, and he was, and the virus was in there floating around.
Yeah.
But it couldn't attach itself to any of his white blood cells.
Whoa.
Or whatever blood cells. So, and they studied him, and they studied him, and they studied him. So, like, they're trying to figure out like how this guy is immune to HIV. But like, so it's real.
Right.
It's not out of the question that someone would be immune to this. Someone in the entire fucking world is gonna be immune to this virus. It's gonna happen. But they were like, nope, that would be too interesting. So they let it go. Or it would like cost too much money, or I don't know.
It's a real bummer because you're right. It totally was like a daring and original and innovative idea that was specific to the show. And it would have been cool if they committed to it and they're like, that's what we're doing over here, man. And maybe they got shut down. I don't know.
Or even just like, it would have been even cool if like, they thought he was, like, they think he's immune. Turns out he was lying.
Sure.
Right? And then he does get bitten. And then turns out he actually is immune.
Yeah.
And they leave him to die anyway, but he, like, gets better and wakes up later.
Yeah.
Like, that would be great. But they didn't. They shoved a knife through his head.
That
so it's like,
cool.
ugh.
Yeah.
There were so many options.
Yeah.
They just left money on the table.
Yeah.
I feel like.
They did, absolutely. So this episode had ups and downs. I think that for me, the definite up was what happened with Travis at the end of this episode. Him killing those characters that were so unbelievably
he stomped
evil.
On his head.
Oh, yeah. Threw the other guy through the window. Like, he was such in a rage, he accidentally hurt one of their people.
Yeah, well, not by accident. He crushed his head in a door.
And killed those other two dudes. And it's like, I would have done the same.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Okay, question.
Yeah.
why do you think they showed it in such a weird way? Like in that flashback, instead of just showing what happened.
I see.
Like they showed it in like this weird, because like the first time they sent it back, it showed the version.
Lie.
Yeah.
Right. I think it was to kind of just, I don't know, that's interesting. I wasn't paying super much attention, I'll be honest, to like kind of the flashbacks of it. I was just sort of, I really liked the moment where Travis was at the door and he's like, wait, was that after he was thrown? Was he thrown or did you pull him out?
Right.
That moment of, and then I went, oh, because I knew,
Right.
I thought the whole time too, I was like, maybe Chris is alive. Because that's kind of how the show, and also sometimes The Walking Dead works. We're like, oh no, Glenn! No, he's fine. So like, I was thinking maybe Chris is alive. Maybe they left him somewhere and they're saying that he died, and that's why they had to leave him. But it makes sense because we were just talking about how they killed their other friend who had a hurt leg. So of course they would kill Chris because they're evil and stupid, and it doesn't make any sense. But I think that the interesting flashback, maybe it was to just show the discrepancies, but at the end they certainly
they showed
used
them doing it.
Yeah, they used that pull up of like when Chris is lying on the ground, to then mirror like the bad guy on the ground and then like Travis like walking around him with the blood on his footprints and then killed him, which is so cool. I don't know why they showed it kind of the way that they did.
Because if you show it first in a flashback being not true, and then you show it in another flashback being true, it makes me think that I can't believe either version, which makes me think that they're gonna go find Chris somewhere.
I see what you're saying. I think maybe that definitely the second time they replayed it, I feel like that's what Travis was imagining happened, because they're kind of like,
it's what's Travis
we killed him, we had to kill him. So he's imagining how maybe he saw what they did to that kid, that he's like, oh my god, my son was thrown from a car, or he crawled out of a thing and they walked over and shot him, and then they walked over, and that's what made him go and kill those guys. Maybe.
So then they're implying that we still don't know what
we'll
happened
never
to Chris.
know. According to the show, we'll never know for sure, because we're just from the perspective of Travis and Madison and the survivors.
Which I don't like either.
I think that Chris is dead though.
I hope he's dead, but it's like, I wonder, okay, another question. Do you think that they killed Chris because everyone hated him? Like, the viewers, like,
I don't know, maybe. I don't know how much planning, how far ahead. I don't know if the show season 2 started and they were still writing the back half of season 2 and filming it, and they were like, "Ooh, everybody hates Chris." I don't. Everybody hates Chris. I don't think that that's what happened.
Because if they did, then you would think they would give us the satisfaction of seeing him die in like an actual thing that's not in Travis's imagination.
For sure, yeah.
Because I hated him, and I want to see his actual death. Like, give me the satisfaction.
I think then, to answer your question, or just to kind of go off of what you're saying, that maybe this thing was planned the entire time, and it was just an excuse to further Travis as a character.
Yeah.
Which may have been something from the get-go, where they're like, we're going to have this guy and his son, and wouldn't it be interesting if he failed as a father? Yeah. And then they're going to kind of go from there. So, but it was cool either way. Like, good to go. It was interesting that's where the show ended to lead into the last episode, because I'm like, what's going to happen? Like, I was in it. Yeah. I'll be honest. I was really into it.
When you stomp somebody's head.
Yeah.
That's cool.
For good reasons?
For good reasons.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm glad that those stupid characters got out of the way. Yeah. That's great. Those bad guys. Anyway, all right, guys. So tell us your favorite part of the episode. Was it Travis stomping on that guy's head? Was it Madison doing nothing? Was it Strand? Oh boy. Was it Strand like trying to speechify and it kind of wasn't working out? What was your least favorite part? Was it Alicia doing nothing? Let us know in the comments below, and then be sure to watch our episode review for the last episode of season 2 of Fear the Walking Dead. Hey, guess what?
We're done. Almost.
They have a season 3.
Okay. I genuinely didn't know that until you said it. Oh no.
Sorry. Bye, guys.
Bye.